Hello viewers, welcome to Mathematics Lab with Mr. Major. We are asked to solve this question. The question says that in the diagram, PQRS is a parallelogram. That is this shape like this is a parallelogram. Line segment arrow T equal to line segment arrow Q. Arrow T and arrow Q are equal. Of course, we can see that from the arcs shown. Now, angle PST is 15 degree. PST, that is here, 15 degree. Angle T arrow Q is 40 degree. Angle T arrow Q is 40 degree. T arrow Q, which is here, is 40 degree. Now, we are asked to calculate angle ST arrow and angle SPT. Now, solution. I can say that in triangle ST arrow, which is this triangle, ST arrow, meaning this triangle like this. In that triangle, we already know this is what they asked us to look for. So we are supposed to know these two. But since we don't know them, I will say let this angle here be X. So what angle is this? That is actually angle TS arrow. So we say let angle TS arrow be X, as I have shown there. And angle, this one will be S arrow T, as in here. Let's assume here is Y. So let angle TS arrow be X and angle S arrow T be Y. So I am including these letters to enable us solve for what we want to solve for. Now, since I am assuming here to be X and assuming here to be Y, let us look at line PQ and line SQ. You will notice that line PQ is parallel to line SQ. We can see that from these arrows. What that means is that T arrow is actually a transversal. If it is a transversal, that means this angle here, this angle Y here, is alternate to this angle here. So it implies that this place is Y, alternate angles. That is not just all. From that same place, since these two lines again are, okay, let me just concentrate on this triangle here. We have triangle TQ arrow. In this triangle TQ arrow, you will notice that these two lines are equal, even as they stated it here. If the two lines are equal, that means that this triangle is actually an isosceles triangle. So in isosceles triangle, if two lines are equal, that means the base angles in the third line will be equal. So that means these two angles are equal. Therefore, if here is equal to Y, it then means that here is also equal to Y, base angles of isosceles triangle. Very good. Now let us go. From here now, we can say that this angle, which is the first one they asked us to look for, ST arrow, which is here, is equal to 180 minus this other two here. Since they add up to 180 degrees. So we say angle ST arrow plus X plus Y equal to 180 degree. Reason is angles in a triangle, meaning that our angle ST arrow is equal to 180 degree. This coming this way because minus X plus Y. Now, there's nothing we can do further than this for now. So we can assume this to be our equation 1. That is for ST arrow, which is this ST arrow. Now, let us move to SPT. SPT. Now, there's something I want us to know. If here is X, this line and this line, like I said, they are parallel. That means this is another transversal between the two lines. So that means this angle here is alternate to this angle here. In other words, here is also X. That is the meaning. There is also X. Now, there is something I want to bring to our notice. This is a parallelogram, PQRS, the entire shape. And we know that the opposite angles of a parallelogram are always equal. So, this angle of this parallelogram, which is Y plus 40, the angle here is Y plus 40. for the parallelogram, y plus 40, is equal to this angle. And this angle here is angle SPT, which is the second angle they asked us to look for, SPT. So I'm going to write that angle SPT is equal to y plus 40. So we say angle SPT is equal to y plus 40 degree. And the reason is opposite angles of a parallelogram. We can even abbreviate parallelogram like this, opposite angles of a parallelogram. Now, for clarity, I will name it, that y plus 40 is actually angle SRQ. SRQ is angle SRQ. So I can now say angle SPT equal to SRQ is the y plus 40 degree. So we shall label this as our equation 2. Okay. Now, we've known these two things. What should we do next? Now, let's come back to the shape. Since these two angles are the base angles of this isosceles triangle, and we already know the third angle to be 40, we can easily calculate this one. So we say in triangle, the name of that triangle is TQ arrow. In triangle TQ arrow, we have y plus the third angle, y plus 40 equal to 180 degree. So y plus y is 2y. So we have 2y equal to 180 degree minus 40 degrees, which will give us 2y equal to, this minus this is 140 degrees. So we divide both sides by 2, which will be 2y divided by 2 equal to 140 divided by 2. So here 2 we cancel 2, and 2 divide 140 will give us 70, meaning our y is equal to 70 degrees. So now that we know our y to be 70 degrees, it means that we are saying this is 70, this is 70, this is also 70. That tells us that we have gotten the answer to one of the questions. That is SPT. Because we said SPT. SPT in equation 2 is y plus 40. So we can say, therefore, angle SPT, which is equal to y plus 40 degree, is now, our y 70, is now 70 degree plus 40 degree. And 70 plus 40 will give us 110 degrees. We've got to the answer to SPT. We are left with ST arrow. We are left with ST arrow. So how do we look for ST arrow? Recall that we have calculated we have gotten an equation that where is it? ST arrow is x plus y equal, okay, ST arrow, that is equation 1, is equal to 180 minus x plus y. So there is a need for us to know the value of x, since we already know the value of y. Now we've gotten SPT to be 110 degree. And recall that this is the SPT here, 110 degree. We know this angle, we know this angle. We can easily calculate x now. So we can say, let me solve it here. We can say that in triangle SPT, we have x plus 15 degrees plus 110 degrees equal to 180 degrees. And the reason is angles on a straight line. So we have x, 15 plus 110 will give us 125 degrees equal to 180 degrees. The next thing is to collect our like terms. So we have x equal to 180 degrees minus Plus 25 coming this way is minus 125 degrees. And 180 minus 125 degrees will give us 55 degrees, meaning our x is equal to 55 degrees. That is not the end of our answer. Recall we have gotten SPT, we are still looking for ST arrow. Now we've gotten our y to be 70, we've gotten our x to be 55. Now let's come back to equation 1, where we have angle ST arrow to be 180 minus x plus y. So we will say, let me continue from here. We say, but, please let me write here. We say, but angle ST arrow equal to, as we have here, ST arrow, 180 degrees minus x plus y, which will be 180 degree minus our x is 55 degree plus our y is 70 degrees, which will be equal to 180 degrees minus 55 plus 70 will give us 125 degrees. And if we subtract, it means that ST arrow is equal to 55 degrees. ST arrow is equal to 55 degrees. So this is our final answer. We can say, therefore, ST arrow, angle ST arrow equal to 55 degrees, and angle SPT equal to SPT equal to 110 degrees. So these are the answers to the two angles they asked us to look for. I have always said, and I will continue to say, you can check your answers to be sure if you are correct. Since we got angle ST arrow, there is ST arrow, this is ST arrow. Since we got, I want to check for us now, we got ST arrow to be 55. We got X to be 55. And we got Y to be 70. We can add them together if the answer will be 180 degrees. Of course, 55 plus 55 will give us 110. And 110 plus 70 is 180 degrees, confirming that our answer is correct. We can also check from this triangle here. Y is 70, so 70 plus 70 is 140. And 140 plus this other 40 here will still give us 180 degrees. We can also check from here. This is another triangle. S is 55, so 15 plus 55 will give us 70. And 70 plus 110 will give us 180 degrees. So confirming that our answers are correct. So please, if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. When I see your question, I will definitely respond to your question. Like the video, share it to your friends, and please, if you are just coming across my channel for the very first time, do well to subscribe so that you'll be having notifications as I begin to drop more exciting and interesting videos. Bye.